don't fuck with my piece. Yeah, please don't fuck with that. I wish you hating would cease.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Certified Vets. I'm one of your co-hosts, T, and on my left I got
Riley.
Yo, Scott Duke Gennaro.
And John, the tech man.
And today we got a little understanding conversation of ADOS, aka ADOS, versus FBA in America.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what the hell you were talking about when you brought this up. But, so you're gonna, and I'm sure a lot of the
I'm not too knowledgeable on
listeners
it as well.
Listen,
it was funny, some of the clip.
I did a little research on it.
Okay, research God. So first of all, let me just say this: ADOS and FBA are American, United States of America.
What's that? What does it stand for?
But before I get to the thing, a lot of Black Americans don't even know what that stands for. What does it mean itself? So I will talk about what FBA is, and then John on the tech side, he will talk about the ADOS.
Right. Okay.
And don't get me wrong, if you're an American and you are really affiliated with either FBA or ADOS, we're not talking as in we are a part of it, and we're not talking as if we know 100% about it. So if we are missing something or the message doesn't seem like it's 100% true,
school us in the comment section.
By all means, please school us in the education in the comment section. We want to be educated. We want to understand, because a lot of messengers from both ADOS and FBA, they are giving the wrong message across, which is seeming very divisive in the Black community around the world.
Right.
So FBA is the foundation of Black Americans. So what they're talking about is they are more than one generational Black Americans that have been helping Black Americans that were slaves, grassroots, and helping them push. So, for instance, if you were born in America and your parents were born in America, but let's say your other parents came from, like, let's say
your
grandparents came from like a country in Africa or from the Caribbean.
Okay.
You could be considered an FBA as long as you are in the streets helping the movement of Black Americans, such as, police brutality, equal wages.
Is that the case though? I think FBA goes all the way back to
So what they will consider
slavery.
you an FBA if you have some lineage in here. It doesn't have to extend from slavery, but as long as you have a couple of generations in here and you're in the grassroots helping the FBA Foundation prosper, or FBA members prosper.
Okay.
Which is, all the Black systematic issues that they're dealing with, such as police brutality, economical wage gap, redlining of home and stuff like that, empowerment of Black Americans.
Right.
Yeah. So you go in there and school us about the ADOS.
ADOS, from what my understanding, is that it's actually something that you have to be an American descendant of slaves. So you have to go all the way back to slavery, your lineage. And then at the same time, it excludes immigrants. So say if your family came after slavery was abolished, you're not considered ADOS. You understand? So you have to your lineage has to go all the way back to slavery.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, that's my understanding of it.
So okay. I was on an app called Clubhouse, which is kind of new for Apple users, and it's a beta test, so I think it's going to be expanded to other devices. But I got into a room where they're talking about ADOS, and not a lot of Black Americans know what ADOS is and what FBA is. But from the conversations that I was having in there, a lot of them saying that the ADOS stems from them trying to get reparations, and make sure the reparations are for the ADOS or ADOS.
Okay. So FBAs basically.
But my question was, wouldn't the Black populist communities prosper more if everybody got it? Right. Doesn't that make sense to you?
Yeah.
See, I think their whole thing is that they don't want new immigrants to come in to try and come in and say, okay, bomb, yeah, my parents just came from Jamaica. You'll run me some American,
and I understand
reparations.
Run me the bread.
100%.
Okay. So I see that aspect of that, but their whole thing is like what I find is very divisive is that pretty much when they mention like immigrants that come from different countries, like Jamaica or whatever the case is, they try to mention the coons. You know what I mean?
Like, so it's funny that you brought that up, because I got a clip here, because I wasn't aware of what this whole ADOS FBA thing was. And then T showed me this thing on Tariq Elite's page. So Tariq Elite is a...
Tariq Nasheed.
Oh, no, his page is called Tariq Elite.
Okay.
But yeah, his name is Tariq Nasheed, and he's a, I guess, a movie producer. He produced all the Hidden Colors
Documentaries, which
documentaries.
all of them are fire except
Oh,
the
yeah.
last one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, so he had a scenario where he had a guest call in and they were going back
Bless
and
you.
forth about this ADOS stuff. So let me play the clip.
Yeah,
And
give you
then,
give you some background of how a messenger of one of these FBA or ADOS and how they react to people outside of their organization.
Mm-hmm.
Why would y'all like
Where is your family
from Jamaica?
Okay, shut the fuck up and respect foundational Black Americans. You
I'm
ain't
not
from
respecting none
here.
of that coon shit. What are you talking about?
Nigga, the coon is you and
Why?
your coward fucking family that had to bounce because you failed in Jamaica, nigga. That's
Because
the
we failed in
coward-
Jamaica?
You failed in fucking Jamaica.
And then what happened to everybody that's in America?
Nigga, we still here fighting. That's what we doing. We didn't run like bitches.
So
You ran like a bitch.
So FBA, FBA.
I'm saying you.
Wait, no.
bitch.
I'm asking you. Let me ask you.
You ran like a
Let me ask you
bitch.
something. FBA.
I'm telling you. No, don't ask me nothing.
No.
Y'all,
Because I'm asking you
your
what you talking about.
family, your
FBA.
family
Yo,
ran like
FBA support
bitches.
Malcolm X.
Nigga, your family ran
Yo,
like
does FBA
bitches.
support Malcolm X?
You ain't at liberty to say
I'm
nothing
saying,
about
does
a
FBA
foundational
support
Black
Malcolm
American.
X?
Nigga,
FBA
Malcolm X
support
ain't got
Malcolm X?
nothing. The Malcolm X was half foundational Black American. You ain't got nothing to do with
You
Malcolm
say he
X.
was half?
Wow.
Yes, he was.
But
His dad was a foundational Black American.
The whole thing
His
that he
dad
talking
was
about
a
moving the
came from
foundational
goalposts.
Black
Jamaica, nigga. What are you
American.
talking about?
Nigga, first of all, Marcus Garvey was a
So,
Jamaican. He did all
sounds like he was
Malcolm
trying to
X
move the
is,
goalposts.
Malcolm X said he's a half foundational.
So what's so
you can
crazy
only
about
talk?
that?
You can only half talk?
Yeah,
Malcolm
so
X?
it's crazy to
Wow.
me that you would half accept somebody because it's almost like the whole, I'm half black, half white.
You're
Okay,
not,
you're a
you're
black
not black
person.
enough. Yeah.
But here's the hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. That's why I'm setting it up. Yeah,
Here's the irony about this dude is his wife is half black, half white.
Exactly.
Which is like I can't wrap my head around the whole point.
Yeah,
If you're telling me the reparation thing, which I never heard of.
yeah, that's
only
for the
clip-
ADOS.
Is that ADOS? Okay, so the reparation thing, I could kind of understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think to John's point, this is more divisive than anything
man.
else.
Listen,
Like,
man, let me show you something, yo. Marcus Garvey created the largest black movement in American history, yo. Was he FBA?
Well,
was
here's
he
the thing.
was he ADOS?
So I could have played more. Tariq was like, cause he brought up that the dude brought up the same market. He's like, yo, Marcus Garvey failed in Jamaica, had to run over here and get shit popping with us.
Listen,
So he needed, I guess, ADOS or FBA people for him to really get on.
listen, we know that America is the strongest nation on the planet. Yo. They lead, and at the same time, when it comes to the black population, America has the largest and the most influential black population. Yo. So the thing is, for Marcus Garvey to come over here, because guess what? If he started a movement in Jamaica, whatever the case is, it wouldn't have as much as a resonating
Yeah, it
effect.
wouldn't be as
And
pronounced.
just to add on to that, even if he started the movement in Brazil, which has the highest amount of black diaspora outside of America, the highest amount of black people outside of
United
Africa,
States?
or continent of Africa,
Okay.
how would that make a difference?
Right.
Because like you're saying, America has the most influential black people because America itself, not just black America, is the most powerful, dominant country in the world.
Right. So another thing is another person, Stokely Carmichael. He's from Trinidad. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Are we gonna sit here and say, yo, he's not a foundational black American, even though the man gave his life for the freedom of black people?
So again, I don't know the point, man. Like I hear what you're saying, but I don't get I don't understand the point of having these type of conversations. You know what I mean?
So
yeah.
Yeah, I understand what ADOS and FBA represents, right?
Which is what?
Which is so let me speak about it, which will
okay.
give you the context, right? So Dr. Umar, he had a little rant himself on social media. I'm not sure if we have the clip. Do we have the clip, Duke, or no?
Yeah, we have the clip.
Is it the one he's talking about FBA?
I believe this is the one that I have here.
Okay, hopefully it's the right one. Do you have it ready to play?
Yeah, I have it ready to play.
Okay, so play it right now, and I'll explain it after he plays it.
Okay, so let me just pull it up. Okay, I'm playing it right now.
Do, 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 do.
My bad.
It's all good. It's all
yeah.
good.
My bad.
So what about LaMelo Ball?
Are one of the fastest growing prison populations in America. Black immigrant youth, Black African immigrant youth are one of the fastest growing prison populations in America because you damn Africans come to America, some of you, and ain't got no damn Pan-African consciousness. Come to America and you ain't got no damn Pan-African consciousness. Thinking you better than me when everything you get is the result of the struggle that we have been through. Everything you get is the result of the struggle that we have been through, and you want to turn your nose up at us because the white man that gave you a refugee status card. Get your ass out my face.
So, again, shout out to Dr. Umar because sometimes he gives it to you raw, which is kind of like a lot of people don't like that raw.
Kind of vulgar there.
Yeah, they don't like that raw. So just to speak upon that, right? Like Dr. Umar is basically saying is, listen, you're coming to the land, and this is not me saying it's the land of milk and honey, but you're coming to the land of milk and honey because there's more opportunities in America than there is in the country that you came from.
Right.
Which I'm not going to argue, right? The place in America, you could go there and you could become a billionaire, you become a millionaire, a lot easier than the country that you come from, right? So he's basically saying is, listen, respect FBA people and ADOS people and understand that we have suffered for generations on this land of oppression to give you space to come here as an immigrant and get that ability to become rich beyond means, right? So let's say let's use someone that we all know, Akon.
Right.
Would Akon be what he is if he stayed in Senegal or where he came from?
No.
He came to America, did what he got to do, hustle, and now he is where he is now making billion-dollar moves. He's now making crypto cities, et cetera, et cetera.
Where he can make his own city now.
Yeah. So, for instance, we are from the Caribbean. Imagine if three of us are from Yad, right? You're from Yad, right? Okay, so three of us are from Yad. Imagine a bunch of Americans came to Jamaica and start fucking up the place. Like what Dr. Umar said.
Oh,
But okay, so
hell no.
here's the thing though, because again, I haven't done any research with that stuff, but when he says that one of the highest, because I mean, when you say one of, like, I mean, what does that mean? One out of what? When he says one of the highest growing populations for imprisonment or something is like Black Africans. I'm gonna be honest with you. I
don't believe that stat.
Yeah, I would have to dig a little bit deeper into that stat. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
I need some references.
And I think here's the issue. I think the issue is that why there is that kind of divide between immigrants from other Black countries, we'll use the word Black countries, and Americans, is that the immigrants are coming here and they're looking at it as like, yo, listen, you have all the opportunities in the world to be successful. Like, I'm coming here from Senegal. I'm coming here from Jamaica, where our parents are all immigrants. We coming here with nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And they understand that obviously things aren't necessarily equal or fair, but they also understand that there's a lot of opportunity, and as long as you stick to whatever you want your goal to be is, whether it's to be rich, whether it's to be whatever, nobody should be able to really stop you from that goal. So how is it me, an immigrant coming here, able to succeed to do this X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
And you, who've been here, living here all your life, hold on, who you've been living here all your life, is unable to succeed.
Listen, I think the this divide is synthetic. It's not real. I don't think Jamaicans are coming to America talking about, yo, look at you American Black people, this, that. I don't think that's the case. So.
There's some, but
I know Africans.
Jamaicans are doing that though.
No. I think what he's saying is Africans do that on an extent because they weren't enslaved like how Jamaicans or Caribbeans and American people.
And
were.
I would say Jamaicans.
But the thing is, no. I think it's like when it comes to the Africans, there is that, but it's because of a cultural difference in terms of like, because Africans are more like, for example, family structured,
oppressed mindsets.
Like their culture doesn't come from white society.
Right.
A lot of Black American culture comes from white society. Right. Yeah. So it's a battle of cultures. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is, when it comes to like Jamaicans or whatever the case is, right? They're not coming to. I don't think they're coming to America and talking down and disrespecting the American blacks that are there.
Mhm.
This ADOS FBA movement is making enemies out of enemies that are not even there.
It shouldn't be. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like,
So you're basically it's counterproductive because
it's
we're
counter. It's
talking
counter.
about
It's,
unity, and then you're telling me about FBA, ADOS, and now it's like what are we doing? What are we doing with that basically?
with there's a good argument to the FBA ADOS, which is okay. Boom, you know, the reparations, whatnot. You know, if your family's been here since slavery times, yes, okay, boom. That's a good argument. I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah.
Right.
But understand this, though. All of us black people, whether we're from America or from Jamaica, we're not different from. The only thing that's different is the boat stopped at a different port.
Yeah, different port, man.
That's it. We're the same people.
Right.
So whether you have a beef with the French or the British or the American Caucasian,
Right.
bottom line is this: so they're all our enemies. So.
Yeah,
And
we
whether
all have a
I'm
common
a
enemy.
Jamaican and I want to assist the American blacks to fight the American whites, boom. I expect the same way how I'm an ally to you to fight the American
Right.
Caucasians. I would expect you to fight the British Caucasians and the
Right.
and the Haitians. I would expect to fight the French. You understand what I'm saying?
Instead of infighting.
Instead of infighting, we're all the same people. Yo. You know, so that's all I'm saying in terms of the divisiveness. Yo.
So again, I guess that leads to the next question: is this good or bad for the black community? And you kind of answered that, but I want to hear from Duke and Riley on this.
I think it's good. It's good in a way where if you actually deliver the message in a way where people can actually understand what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's just going to turn people off. Which some of these people who are for FBA, ADOS, how they're delivering the message, it just kind of turns people off.
Right.
So it's not really. The whole thing missing is the education on both sides.
And I think what's a big issue that's happening with this, and I'll speak on FBA 'cause I didn't do much research on ADOS, but I kind of feel it's the same thing, but just different people pushing it. For FBA, to me, when I was doing my research, I looked on the website, you know, I follow people that are, or I looked on people's pages that are ADOS representatives, and it seems like their messengers are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with black Americans saying, hey, we are descendants of slaves. We went through all this bullshit. So we have stake and claim in this land when it comes to reparations and yada, yada, yada. Right? Because imagine, like I tried to present earlier, is imagine a bunch of Americans go to Jamaica and try to, you know, get the benefits of Jamaicans of all their fight. It's not really fair. And then you have the messengers kind of making a divisive message saying that you need to respect us and we're on top of you. Because I was on Tariq Nasheed's, the real, whatever his Facebook or Instagram page was. And he posted a video where this one gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he was making some claims. And I'm a type of person, if you make a claim, I need facts,
Yeah, you gotta
especially
back
if
it
it's
up.
far off. The man said, listen, man, black Americans are the farthest away from Africans, but we are the closest to Egyptians. So I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, how can you be farther away from Africa, the continent of all these African countries, but closest to one of the countries in Africa? And he says, well, there's people in there that have this whole notion that I don't know what state the Grand Canyon is, but they're saying that was actually the original Egypt.
Right.
I said, what
I'll
the
have to look
fuck
into that.
are you talking about?
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Like, they're talking about they have a place in the Grand Canyon where there's old artifacts from Egyptian culture that is basically the same age as Egyptian culture. So I'm like, wait a minute, you just said it yourself that these artifacts are from Egypt.
Right.
So how the fuck
Did
is
it
this
really
location Egypt if it's
originated
from Egypt? But they are hell bent on the fact that the Grand Canyon and America is the first original Egypt.
You're basically saying Egypt was founded, or I guess,
You know
within
what?
the United States.
It's poppycock to
Let me tell you something, yo. I'm gonna tell you what bottom line what it is, yo. My theory. You can say this is a conspiracy theory or whatever the case is, yo. I think that this whole FBA ADOS division, the division aspect of it, is COINTELPRO. What I mean COINTELPRO, I'm talking about FBI, CIA, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Because it's to divide
Sabotage.
the Caribbean blacks from the American blacks. It's to prevent the international coalition. What they want to do is see the blacks in America, keep them separate from the blacks
make them feel that they're different from other blacks.
You see what I'm saying? Keep them divided. Because the thing is, if we have an international coalition, we're on a level. We're on a NATO level.
It's a wrap.
But they don't want us on a NATO level. They want us on a block level. Like, whoa, Bridget, I'm on Rexdale and you're over on Jane and Finch. You know what I mean? Don't come over. You know what I mean? They want us to keep. They want to keep us on that level. They don't want us to be on an international confederacy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm my 2 cents is.
Because that's our greatest weapon. Unification is our greatest weapon, right?
You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to just create these lines of division.
Because you have to look at, and I'm going to use Tariq Nasheed as a perfect example. How many of you guys here on the podcast and in the audience watched the Hidden Color documentary?
I watched
the
a couple
first
of them.
one.
Yeah.
Lean, you watched a few of them, right?
Yeah, definitely.
When you first watched it, how did that make you feel?
Some of the stuff was questionable. I'm not gonna front.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, you question that.
I'm not gonna front.
Some of it was. I mean, a lot of it was informative.
But it was cool.
There's things that I didn't know,
Mhm.
but there's other things that I'm the type of person where I question everything anyway.
And hey,
But there
by
was,
all means.
there was a lot of cool things when you talk about some of the history of back in Africa and stuff.
So my question
That
is, would you have ever been exposed to that knowledge if that wasn't created?
No.
no.
You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
when I looked at those documentaries, I'm like, you know what? This is some cool shit because why I'm being exposed to my history from a different lens, from different people and different scholars, right? So you have both men and women that are scholars in their rights when it comes to black history, schooling you on stuff. They're schooling you on Kemet. They're schooling you on, if we have a universal language like every other culture, which would be Swahili, we will be able to communicate with all black people around the world.
Right.
But that shit is dope to me. Right. So my question was in my head when I heard and I'm hearing all this divisive conversations with this Tariq fella, I'm like, bro, how do you go from let's unite all the black people to, you know what, fuck this shit. Foundational black Americans, you motherfuckers get in line
Fuck everyone
and
else,
pay us
basically.
respect and homage
Right.
for living on our land, which is not even your land.
Nigga,
I don't care if you built it.
Land, bro.
You pay taxes on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you're a Native American, you don't pay taxes. You got like a small segment of places where you can live.
Even the the rhetoric where they talk about, oh, we created the opportunity for you guys to come over here. Nigga, you weren't in Congress talking about you don't let these immigrants in, bro. You know what I mean? Black people were not in Congress and in the Senate pushing for immigration laws, though.
That's fact.
The fuck out of here, B. You know what I mean? That shit just happened because that's what the white people them wanted.
They decided
You see what I'm
this is
saying?
what's gonna happen.
And then and now you're trying to take credit for it, like if you guys are out here trying to push for immigration. You know, come on, man, that's bullshit, bro.
Well, the civil
Fuck
rights
outta here,
was
B.
partly the reason why immigration in the United States is a thing, though. The civil rights movement, that is.
Continue.
No, I was just basically just adding on what he was saying.
Oh, okay, I thought yes, and you stopped in your conversation. Yeah, so I feel that the FBA and ADOS are organizations or whatever you want to call them. They are valid if you look at the grassroots of why they've been created.
Right.
But what I kind of urge a lot of organizations, it doesn't have to be by race, it could be by whatever the case may be, is be wary of the messengers that are coming from these places because they can taint it. Because I was in a conversation group, I'm not sure if everybody's aware of, but there's an app called Clubhouse where you can go in there and basically have conversations with anybody around the world in a group format. A lot of Americans do not know what the hell FBA or ADOS is.
Right.
They were like, I didn't even know what it is. And they were trying to figure it out.
Right.
And it was to my surprise that I actually had a little bit more knowledge. Like I said, yeah, you guys understand, do you guys know what FBA is? They're like, I never even heard of that shit. And I'm from Harlem, 6 generations, or I'm from friggin', Louisiana, these were considered FBA or ADOS. People are like, I don't even know what the hell FBA is. And we're trying to figure out in this group what the hell is ADOS is.
Right.
But that's where I kind of learned that ADOS is probably is basically saying that, you know what, foundational or American descendants of slaves should get the reeks of the benefits of reparations, but not just the form of a check. It could be a form of land.
Yeah.
It could be a
Resources.
form of resources, banking loans, college grants, et cetera, right? So that's what I was kind of looking at. Is like, you know what? Be wary of people that are coming out with a divisive message for a foundation, because that may not be what the root core of that foundation is all about. It could be something totally different. And I think, I could be wrong, that Homeboy is pushing this FBA could be because of divisiveness from a government tactic, or just because of monetization, because this man has ADOS flags in his background. Get your FBA shirt on this website.
Yeah, man,
like,
selling merchandise.
Yeah.
He's selling merch.
Let me tell you
Someone
something.
starts selling
Some people
merch,
think he's
it's
an
what the fuck?
agent.
Let me tell you something. This man labels, like Tariq Nasheed, labels every other black person that's out here trying to make a movement as an agent. The man labeled Dr. Umar as an agent. The man
Which
able.
I can never see him being an
How the
agent.
hell
That doesn't make any
how's
sense.
he an
to me.
agent, dog? You know what I mean? Flipping, he labeled. I don't know if you guys know about the NFA, the not fucking around coalition, or NFC, and not effing around
And
coalition.
their leader's name is Jam Master. Something
Yeah,
like that.
official Jam or Jam
something
Master
like
J, or
that.
whatever the case is. He labeled him as an
Agent,
agent, even though the man's facing 20 years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But he's an agent. Why would they lock up their own agent? But you see what I'm saying? Like, the man's labeling everybody else as an agent that's trying to help
But,
black
I mean,
people. That seems like some agent movements to me, dog.
Not to focus too much on him, but I mean, you could just tell he's like a used car salesman, bro. Like,
You got his Amarion braids
I
in.
mean, we were like, what was he doing? Like pimp books before?
No, but no, remember,
Like pimp books
remember-
before, and
hold
now
on,
he
wait.
did a transition, and now he's
That's when he was
Lean,
under the
hold on,
white
wait.
man.
for the black community.
Lean, remember when it was Dredd that introduced us to him, when he was talking about his macking, his
his
thing.
Mac. Yeah,
He was like,
so-
how to get women in the club. You got to show up early because some of the beautiful girls, they go to clubs early and leave early, so you got to get them real quickly. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude?
So I mean, like, I don't know. He has a big following, though. I take it with a grain of salt whenever he talks, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, this whole ADOS thing, FBA thing, immigrant thing, I think it is it's just a culture thing.
Right.
You know, and a lot of immigrants, like I said, they come here with nothing, and it's not necessarily that they look down on Black Americans or anything like that, but they're not necessarily going to be there in the forefront to support some of these causes, because they look at it like, listen, man, at the end of the day, this is what it is. If I'm able to work through all the struggle and move up, why aren't you? Like, because there is that victim mentality, to be honest with you, with a lot of Black Americans, right?
What do you mean victim mentality? Explain.
Like blaming everything on the white man.
Yeah,
basically.
everything is the white man's fault. You know, the reason why
I didn't get that job
yeah,
yesterday.
I didn't get that job, or I didn't move up.
Because
Or
the
a
white
lot of it,
man's keeping me down.
a lot of people just self-reflected on what they're doing. Like, what do you actually do? What are you putting in action to better your life? You know, a lot of people ain't doing shit but sitting around complaining.
Right.
Where again,
They're waiting for
immigrants
that
come in.
stimulus.
You know what I mean? How many times we've seen some Nigerian kid come in and he's like the smartest kid in the country or something like that, or you know, they're becoming doctors and stuff like that. It's because they come with a certain mindset.
Mm-hmm.
They look at the U.S. as something. I heard this. I can't remember where I heard it from, but they look at the U.S. like as like a whore. You know, something. Yeah, it's just something to take out. You know, you just take from that person.
Right.
You don't marry her. Black Americans are trying to like they really believe like they're like
That land
neck
is
and neck,
theirs.
like right under the white man. And if we just do a little 1-2 things, we're gonna be like, yo, you guys, we're bottom of the barrel, bottom of the barrel. Like you and I think they don't understand the reality. To be honest with you, they don't understand the reality of things. And the complaint, like some of the complaints are valid, obviously, but some of the things that they're complaining on is like it's on a list of like 1 to 10 of things that you need to focus on. It's like bottom of the list. You know what I mean? Is police brutality an issue? Absolutely. But when you look in regards to the amount of victims of police brutality, is that something that should be as prominent in regards to media and whatnot? You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why media outlets are allowing you to have these narratives and these protests. Like, trust me, if it was something that was real serious, abortions and stuff like that, whether you're pro or how many Black fetuses are aborted every year, things like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
How how we're so like low in regards to the wealth gap. You know what I mean? Things like that. Actually,
Education too, as well.
things like that. Like, those are the things that the narrative they don't necessarily want to push. So
Because if they know if
be
we focus
careful.
on that, we would be able to upgrade ourselves.
exactly, be careful in the sense where if they're allowing you to promote a certain type of narrative. I mean, You see protests everywhere. Like there's no way that you're just allowed to just do a protest and you see cops just sitting back, just relaxing, not doing nothing. They're allowing you to do that because they don't mind you pushing that narrative. Because that's not, you pushing that narrative is not really going to, improve your overall lifestyle as a community. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's other things that you need to focus on.
Because what they really need to do is if we're marching and protesting because of police brutality, all right, cops, don't kill anybody for the next 6 months. Because guess what? Your kids are still not going to go to school where teachers care about you.
Right.
You're still going to get food stamps. We're still going to give you all the worst health care. Right. They're still going to give you the worst education. You know what I'm saying? We're still not going to allow you to buy houses in certain places. You want to go to a bank? We already seen that issue where they were denying black people fucking
qualified black
people for mortgages and stuff like that. So it's like, I understand that police brutality is a thing and we need to focus on that. But there are other things that we need to understand that are
different
issues.
branches on the tree. Basically.
There's different, like this is not a one lane battle that we're fighting.
Right.
This thing has roots. It has legs.
Right.
There's multiple lanes that we as black people need to struggle and fight against to actually uplift ourselves. And if we have people from the ADOS and FBA that are dividing us as black people, because even if someone comes from the continent of Africa and they feel they are different because they don't have that whole generation of suppression, why are you not using them as an ally? I was in the group and this person was saying that you black people in UK don't understand and don't help us in the struggle. And the lady challenged him and said, what are you talking about? We marched and protest in our country when we heard about George Floyd. And she named off all the black people that were killed in America in the last 4 or 5 years,
Right.
And says we were always fighting for that and marching for that. And she asked the man, what do you want us to do? And the man didn't have a response. So my question is, if you're asking your allies, and these are your true allies because they're your kinfolk, your black people,
Right.
and they're asking you as a person of ADOS or FBA, what do you want us to do? If we're over here marching and protesting in UK, what else do you want us to do? And he didn't have an answer. Then you can't shame somebody if you don't even have the answer your damn self on how you want assistance.
Right.
So you have to ask your question: where is this coming from? What is your objective? And what are you looking to really
What's
accomplish?
the end goal? Right.
Plain and simple. Now let me just do a round table and find out all you guys' final thoughts on this.
Right.
Let's start off with John on the tech side.
I just want to say that this FBA, ADOS, if you listen to the rhetoric, it makes it seem like the only people that are cooning are people that come from from the Caribbean and Africa. Yeah?
Right.
Look at Jason Whitlock. Is he?
Yeah.
No,
Next-
that nigga.
next
No,
person.
yeah, I hate that nigga.
He's cooning, dog.
Oh,
Is he
Nah,
not
nigga.
is he not an FBA?
God.
He's
cooning,
a Hall
bro.
of Fame cooner.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't know.
Hall of Fame reporter.
Candace
Bro,
Owens. I'm not too
Hall of
sure about
Fame,
Candace Owens.
Capital
What's that guy's name again?
C.
Jason Whitlock?
Cooner.
Jason Whitlock.
No, it's not Jason Whitlock. What's the other guy that I don't like,
Jesse
man?
Lee Peterson.
Oh my god,
amazing.
Oh my
that
gosh.
nigga needs.
Living
I don't know
legend.
how
This nigga
Your legend,
grew
you said,
this
nigga. That's your fucking idol.
Listen, this nigga grew up on the plantation. This nigga's
Yeah, he's all-
FBA. This nigga's FBA to the bone.
Some
to
people
the
say
bone
that
marrow,
he's just
dog.
acting. But
I personally
Listen,
think he is.
listen,
That's what I'm
No.
trying to say. It has to be acting.
I don't think
way
he's
someone's like that.
Listen,
man.
he believes that to the bone, dog.
Fuck.
Listen, he believes that to the bone, bro.
the real
He's
Uncle
he's
Ruckus.
FBA, yo. So
man.
listen, we can sit here and go down the list of all these FBA that are cooning. So I'm trying to say that don't think that because they're from the Caribbean or whatever the case,
Right.
they're automatically cooning. That's not the case. So
Yeah.
look at the individual. There's coons from both sides, whether it's
Absolutely,
FBA or it's the Caribbean.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's the same thing with black Democrats and black Republicans. There's coons on both sides.
Listen, all of them are coons. Like if you witness the Democrats or the Republicans, you cooning, bro. You know what I mean? Anyways,
Yeah, but my take on the whole thing is just that I'm very big on unifying, and yes, we have our differences and whatnots, but with the plethora of things that we have to deal with, the last thing we need is saying, oh, because you're not FBA, ADOS, that you can't really say you are, you're I guess, able to have whatever benefits that we're supposed to get, right? But at the end of the day, we're black. Why not? Because we're the only allies that we have are within our own community anyway. So to put that divide because of that stipulation is not really helping us to get to the end goal anyway.
Right.
Be quick. Basically, for me, when I think about this whole FBA ADOS thing, to me, it just reeks of insecurities. Like, I'll be honest with you, it's like they're just creating some sort of acronym to kind of make themselves feel important. Just like fat chicks when they make call themselves BBWs or Lizzles. But look at Lizzo. Like Lizzo was and she's trying to work out, and now they're attacking her, right? So it's just like, to me, it's just people that, I mean, I don't know, maybe don't have a grasp or a good sense in regards to their culture, and they're just trying to like, feel better about themselves, so they create something to kind of separate themselves and almost like an elitist attitude. Like, I'm an FBA, I'm an ADOS, so I'm above you Caribbeans or you Africans or you UK, whatever. So to me, it is what it is, man. I don't pay this shit no mind, to be honest with you. So.
No, I hear that. And just to finish off before we wrap up the whole thing is, when I was in these groups talking to these Americans, they don't know about black people in Canada. Like, they were like, do you guys have ghettos in Canada? And like, are there black people in Canada? I'm like, first of all, I'm black. You can see my picture. Yes, we have black people in here. Yes, we got ghettos. I said the only difference is population.
Right.
Like, if we had the same population as the United States, Canada would be fucking disgusting. Right. Because already in Toronto, you already see our gun violence. You already see the projects. Like, you already see police officers, throwing women off of balconies and shit like that, stopping people, and
Allegedly.
I'm not saying allegedly. That motherfucker chewed that bitch off that fucking that cop. I don't put nothing past those cops. I've seen cops do some dirty shit. And the motherfuckers is dirty.
Right.
He says allegedly he did that shit. Right. As in the words 50 said, he did that shit.
Why you even throwing someone off a balcony anyway?
I don't know, but he did that shit.
All right.
But what I'm saying is, we as black people need to understand that there are going to be people that are divisive and have an agenda that is outside of the unification of black people around this world. So what you need to understand is, when you hear some divisive messages, please, by all means, look at it with a third eye and understand it and dissect it, and make sure that you understand that if it's against black people, then it's not from a black person for the best interest. Leave that shit in the dust. Because if a person is speaking against another black person, doesn't matter if they're from the continent of Africa or from the Caribbean islands, or if they're from South America or Canada or anywhere else on this planet, if we're not talking about unification and the betterment of our people, then that's not the language or the conversation you want to be a part of on that type of level.
And just to quickly jump in, because just to show you how fickle they are, I still remember a clip of Amanda Seales coming and basically talking to these like FBA, because I guess they were coming at her saying, "Listen, you're not even a FBA or ADOS," because I guess her mom is from the Caribbean. Right. And listen, I'm not necessarily a big fan of Amanda Seales and some of the stuff that she comes out with, but I know she's somebody that really tries to promote, the betterment for black community
people, and American black people too.
But isn't she a Democrat? Doesn't she push for Democrat?
I don't want to get.
Man, listen, if you push Democrat,
we're not on the next episode of ADOS.
Yo, if you push for Democrat, or Republican, you ain't for black people.
But to Amanda Seales' point, she fights for black people. Period.
Listen, man, that's
black people in general.
In general. But anyways, finish your.
No, that's it, man.
No, finish your.
No,
point.
that was it. That was basically.
That was it.
That's how fickle they are. They attack anybody.
Listen, man's point got crushed, bro.
No, but no. This guy's crushing points out here.
Yeah, all right, bring it back up then, yo.
Okay, bring it back up.
How you crushing my point?
How you crushing the point?
You said that she's fighting for black people, yo.
Okay.
But she's pushing for a Democrat.
Okay.
Democrat is not for black people, B.
Okay, what's for Republicans?
Yeah, what is for black people?
Listen, if you're looking at Babylon system to protect you, B, you're not. You're off, B.
Can you do me a favor and whip your dreads against the mic so people know how
Fair enough. Anyways, T, wrap it up.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up, but I'm just letting people know that, you know what, there is an ADOS foundation in America. There is a FBA. There are people that are speaking divisive communications from these groups. Don't pay them any mind, because a lot of black Americans don't even know about FBA or ADOS. And when they are educated on it, they don't necessarily agree to the divisive conversations of it. So by all means, if you're outside of America and you hear about it and you hear about the divisive talk, just know that the majority of them are not about that divisiveness. They are about just basically making sure that they understand that there is a difference between a black American and a Caribbean black and an African person, or continent of Africa. So don't really take it too hard. I got into a big spat with Tariq Nasheed and his lemmings, aka followers.
His
And
sentinels.
His sentinels. And he actually blocked me, and I didn't realize I was that important enough to block. But my comment thread had about 350 comments in there, and this motherfucker said, "No, you gotta go, nigga.
We're not having that
You're
on this.
disrupting my money flow," because some people are now questioning their own FBA. So again, by all means, guys, thank you very much for listening. Understand that there are different organizations. Culturally, black people are different. We're not all the same. We come from different backgrounds, which comes with different cultures and different religions and different beliefs. But again, we are all being oppressed, and we have to realize that's the biggest problem. All right. So I'm your boy T, coming from the Certified Vet Podcast. We got to my left,
Riley.
You got Duke De Niro.
John, the tech man.
Thank you very much for paying attention and listening. Please subscribe, comment, like, and all that good stuff. And we out.
Hey everyone, find all of our episodes by searching Certified Vets Podcast on any of the following platforms: Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Peace.